Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing the GTX 1650, as you can see here in MSI Afterburner, and this is the Gigabyte ITX version of the card. It doesn't really require any power from the power supply, it takes everything from the motherboard, and well, we are running the latest drivers here from Nvidia 441.20, Ryzen 7 3700X with 16 gigs of RAM, dual channel, 3200 MHz. Of course, you don't need these specs to run the 1650 without a bottleneck. In Red Dead Redemption 2, you only need something like a Ryzen 5 1400. You don't even need to overclock that. The game is actually pretty well optimized in the CPU department, as long as you have an 8-threaded processor or better than that, because if you have a quad core, I've heard people are having some issues with those, so keep that in mind. A quad core without hyperthreading, or SMT, that is. So as you can see here, taking a look at the settings, these are the Xbox One X settings, and I've already tested this game with the 1650 at low, medium and high settings, or ultra settings. I think I didn't do ultra settings because it dropped from 30 FPS at high settings, but today we're going to be testing here the Xbox One X graphics, and starting off of course at 1080p. As you can see here, I'm just going to be starting right now the counting system, the average and 1% lows there in the on-screen display, and as you can see guys, here at 1080p the game is actually completely playable. Let me just check out a little setting here, because I have nightmares with that setting, because I've made, okay, it's off. This one, just make sure it's turned off in your system, because it actually gives you like a 10 FPS improvement, and I actually had to remake the 1050 Ti and RX 570 videos testing these settings because of that little setting. So I really hate tree tessellation. I never thought I would say that, but yeah. So as you can see here, I'm not really sure why our average FPS are in the 60s. Oh, okay, it's because of this. Alright, let's just restart that and try this again. Alright, so now it's in the 40s. It's what we're gonna get throughout this video, I think. And guys, we're gonna be playing here at 1080p, 1440p, as well as 4K, just for fun, of course. 4K won't run well on this graphics card. It didn't really run well on the RX 570 either, and that one was actually getting 50 plus FPS here at these settings at 1080p, and around 40 to 45 FPS at 1440p. So that's pretty respectable, actually, coming from the RX 570, and the performance here with the 1650 so far has been quite decent. As you can see, our 1% lows are actually in the 20s, but that's nothing to worry about, really. You guys won't see the FPS drop that far. I think it's probably because of the micro stuttering issues that this game has, but don't get me wrong, this still feels smooth despite the little spikes in the graph. But yeah, just keep in mind that the 1% lows are that low. Just calm down, girl. What the heck? Why are you screaming so much? Yeah, the 1% lows are that low because of the micro stutters. As you've been able to see throughout this little run, the FPS didn't really drop to 26, so let alone like 1% of the time being at 25 FPS. That's been it. 1080p, still playable, you know, if you want a 40 plus FPS experience in Red Dead Redemption 2 with decent graphics, because the graphics look really good here with the Xbox One X graphics settings. So yeah, if you want that experience and have a 1080p monitor with a GTX 1650, it's definitely playable. I think this game is actually playable at 30 FPS as well. And also we are testing it here in the most demanding area, or kind of the most demanding area of the map, which is around big forests like this one. I've tested the game as well in Valentine. Where is it? Where's Valentine? Okay, Valentine, right there. And I found out like you get like a little bit less FPS here in the woods, like 5 less FPS compared to that city. So yeah, the foliage around here is definitely more demanding than the city areas in this map, and yeah, that's why I test here in this city. Well, no, in the woods. Right, guys, so, oh my, of course, I was just looking at the FPS, god damn it. This, I swear to god, guys, next time around, I'm not gonna even mention this, okay? Oh my god, this always happens. God damn it. I'm getting quite sick of it by now. Look at that view, guys. That's pretty amazing, to be honest. The game still looks awesome with these settings. So let's stop our counting system there. 42 FPS average, 1% lows are that low because of the micro stuttering issue, of course. Let's just disable that and set the resolution over here at 1440p, which is 2560 by 1440. And now everything's still the same, of course. I'm just gonna apply that. Now what's impressive is actually the console is able, oh my god, guys. Okay, so what the heck is going on with this? 18 FPS, are you kidding me, guys? The RX 570 got 40 FPS, double the FPS, okay? This must be wrong, something must be wrong here. I'm just gonna restart the game, you know? Alright guys, so we're at 30 FPS right now. That's much better, okay? Alright, let's see. Let's take a look at the settings again. 1440p, as you can see, everything's still the same. Just very quickly going through the settings so you can see that I am not lying to you. I didn't change anything, okay? Of course I'm not lying to you. Why would I lie to you? That's weird. Actually, guys, I get a ton of comments in like older videos where I don't talk, saying that the videos are fake because that and that, but I just don't understand. Why would people fake videos of benchmarking graphics cards? I am clueless to that, you know. I don't even know. I don't believe that anyone in YouTube is faking benchmark videos. I'm not really sure. It's just showing real-time performance, you know. Yeah, that's just weird, you know. Okay, guys, so as you can see here, at 1440p, we're actually getting around 30 FPS average. That's not bad at all, actually. If you lock your FPS to 30, of course, there's gonna be a few drops below 30, obviously, as you can see right there. Sometimes it goes into the 29, high 20s, you know. It's probably gonna drop to the mid 20s, even in like very dense forest areas, as we're about to see right now. Just going here in this little forest. All right, can you go, please? Please don't crash into a tree. All right, as you can see here, 27 FPS. Yeah, that's quite low. I don't really think that you should play like this. If you want to play at 1440p with a GTX 1650, I suggest you to just lower a couple of settings, like the most demanding ones, which are the water physics and stuff like that. I think the water physics are actually down to its lowest, but the water reflections as well as the soft shadows that are on high settings. So if you just lower those a little bit, you should be able to get 30 plus FPS average. You know, we're now at 29 FPS average, so we're probably gonna have a little bit less than 30 FPS average here. I've said like 4 times the word average in the last 10 seconds, I think. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, so as you can see, yeah, I don't feel like this is very playable. If you drop those couple of settings, it should be playable. And if you play with a controller, maybe, because I've heard that the Xbox One X actually drops sometimes from 30 FPS, but of course that console has motion blur enabled, I think. Not really sure, but usually consoles do have motion blur enabled, and that makes things a little bit smoother, you know, at lower frame rates. And if you are playing with a controller and motion blur enabled, you should be getting a little bit of a smoother experience, I guess, and it might be playable at 1440p even with drops to like the mid 20s, as we can see here. So far we've seen it drop to 26 at its minimum, and yeah, this is not pretty, of course. Well, actually, this is very, very pretty, but this is not smooth, of course. What the heck? What do you want? Huh? What do you want? Yeah, just run away. That's it, boy. What? Come on. Okay, at least I didn't crash. Alright, so put the gun away, Arthur. Oh my... Are you kidding me? Why did you jump there? Was that really needed because of this thing? Are you kidding me? God damn it, I really don't know why this always happens, guys. Oh my god. But yeah, as you can see here, in very dense forest areas with a lot of foliage and trees around you, you will drop into like 25, 26 FPS range, you know. That's not very good. Will the horse die if we jump here? I'm not really sure. Probably not gonna do that. That's probably a bad idea, you know. Again, I said like, oh my god, no! Oh, come on, you can do it, girl. Just be like a boat, you know? I said probably like 10 times again. Well, not 10, but like 4 times. Can you go, please? Slowly but surely. I think my horse thinks he's a snail now, guys. Alright, we're doing this. Okay, we made it, friends. As you can see, we're out of the river. Our worst enemy in Red Dead Redemption 2, if you've seen my previous videos. Namely, the MX151 at the minute like 10:07. Yep, go check that out if you haven't yet. It's pretty funny. It was my biggest fight against rivers in this game. But, well... Okay, let's just stop our benchmarking tool right now. We've seen our average just below 30 FPS. Sometimes it actually reached 30. But of course, if you are deciding between a 1650 and the RX 570, here in these videos is where you can actually see the big difference that the RX 570 is compared to this. Probably that's not what I meant, but yeah, the RX 570 is very fast compared to the GTX 1650. We got 40 plus FPS pretty much all of the time, with a few drops into like 37, where basically 10 more FPS than this, I would say. And there's only one thing left to do here, guys, which is, this is gonna go bad, guys, but of course these are the Xbox One X graphics. So the Xbox One X actually runs at 4K resolution, so yeah, it just makes sense if the GPU did sort of well at 1440p. Oh boy, of course. Of course, it wouldn't be Red Dead Redemption 2 without a crashing issue, right? But yeah, we actually had to restart the game anyways, because we had to set our textures to medium instead of ultra, because we only have 4 gigabytes of VRAM here. 4K, that's what I meant. 2160p, 3840 by 2160. I'm not sure why I mentioned all of that, man. As you can see, guys, everything's still the same here in the settings menu. So let's just get into the game, which is still not loaded. Okay, guys, so here we are at 4K. Oh my god, look at the ground textures on medium. That looks awful, actually, for a game like this at least. So yeah, just don't play with medium textures, whatever you do. The improvement coming from low is actually noticeable, but it still looks pretty bad, as you can see. And now, guys, I'm not sure what happened when we switched the resolution to 1440p the first time around, because we were getting these FPS. That was pretty weird, okay? So yeah, I knew something wasn't right there, but this is coming from a fresh restart of the game at 4K, and it now makes sense for us to get around 15 to 20 FPS here at 4K resolution, because, well, yeah, at 1440p we were dropping into the 20s sometimes. Makes sense that in 4K it runs like this. So this is not a playable experience. Obviously, if you want to take screenshots, they're not going to be looking too great at like a close distance because of those weird looking textures on medium. But if you want to take screenshots of the landscapes and stuff like that, it actually looks pretty damn good, as you can see here. Oh boy, this game is actually very beautiful. Okay, so if all you want is take screenshots, because there's people like that, you know, people that just want to take cool looking screenshots for our beautiful wallpapers sometimes, you know. You can see here, average FPS just for fun, 17 and 9 FPS, 1% low. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's pretty bad, guys. Okay, I don't recommend anybody to play like this, obviously. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like the video if you did, subscribe if you haven't already. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Love you all, bye bye.